Okay, welcome to the second edition of the CCN Winners Circle. And today I am joined by Claire Burton from the UK. She was one of the originals, one of the OGs of CCN. She did the first one, CCN Genesis. She won that one. She won CCN 3, then the overall there, CCN 5, CCN 6, and she won 3 of the Victrix Ludorum awards, which is, anyone who doesn't know what that is we have a spring CCN event and we have a fall event. So what we do is we take the winner of the spring event and then we put them up against the winner of the fall event because we have the videos, and we run that and score that, and the Victrix Award is basically the grand champion of the year. So Claire has won 3 of those, so that is a very impressive achievement. Again, I want to start off like I always do. What initially drew you to compete in CCN?
It was a COVID year, right? So 2020. I work for a health club, so we left in March and didn't go back for, well, months, months and months and months and months. Had planned to compete that year, but didn't know whether that would be an option, whether it would happen. And then Lee emailed out about CCN, so it's the first that I'd heard of it. And it during lockdown, being able to train and have something to target was really, I guess, what kept me going, because we were furloughed, so I was at home, that was it. So that's why. One, because Lee put you forward and said, I recommend, really sang your praises. I said I didn't know you at that point, so that's why initially.
Yeah, and Lee Kemp from the UK DFBA.
Yeah.
Me and him are very close, and I am very lucky and fortunate to have his support and have him as a mentor for all these years, especially now since I'm starting to transition into the traditional live events.
Yeah.
So to have his support and to have his insight, his mentorship is a major plus for me. But when I talked to him about the idea of CCN and the fact of it not just being a COVID thing, COVID allowed me to slip it in to get this in the door. And I told him about how my vision for this, where it was like I wanted to give the athletes something different. They could compete from anywhere against anyone from anywhere, and to really work on that feedback mechanism. So once I explained that stuff to Lee, he was very supportive, and that is how when he sent you my way, I looked at my wife. I was like, "Oh, look at this one who's coming." So we were very fortunate that you did give us that trust and that first shot. So I appreciate that. So next, let's talk about CCN itself and the use of technology. So CCN is, definitely incorporates a lot of technology in its
Yeah.
process. Um, how, how was your experience adapting to this, and did you feel like you were supported along the way?
Yeah, 100%. And you'll remember me trying to submit my videos, and you were just constantly there. And we got there in the end.
Yeah.
But look, the tutorials, all of the resources that you provide, just make it super easy. So that part of it, me submitting my videos is just me. But yeah, it's fantastic. It is, it's new age. It's where the world is heading, right? So and to watch how you've built on that, because obviously I've been kind of competing with you guys, or with you, since 2020, and have seen it develop. But yeah, super easy to follow, but a real good experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You came in at the original. So the
Yeah.
original was very, we had it organized, but again, you can't create software until you get hit in the jaw. or else you may do things that you don't need, or you may miss things that you did need. So at first, when you came in, it was mostly we were doing the scorecards through Google Sheets and stuff like that. And you would submit, we tried a couple of different ways to submit and collect videos, with WeTransfer always being the fail safe, like just get me the video and I'll figure it out. It was a little rough back then, especially like the scorecards, getting that stuff. That was all Shauna, like manually combing through the scoring to create those cards. It took a long time to get all that stuff done, but you saw the transition of from that very manual analog approach to now where it is that you have a true portal. You log in, you upload your videos, everything is there. It automatically calculates and then will automatically spit out your scorecard and your feedback. So yeah, you have definitely seen the transition, but the thing I want people to know is not to be scared of something so digital and so technology based. Like, I understand that there's always going to be hiccups. There's always going to be things that we need to address, or there may be like you may have certain problems. Oh, a video gets stuck. It's not going through. It's maybe not getting stuck. It's maybe getting stuck, not going through because the file size is so big.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize sometimes, like, you're sending massive video files. It does take a while. They don't have the patience. Either way, you still use WeTransfer. I can compress it slightly and then upload it for them. So I try to make sure that we do provide that step-by-step process of like, hey, I know this is new. I know this is different, especially those first timers. But if you want to do this, you'll always have a helping hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were there. You were great support. So it was easy.
Okay, good. So I'm glad that experience was good for you. And yes, I do remember those days. I remember being like so happy. I was like, oh yes, this girl she's gonna kill it. And I got the video. I was like, wait, what? I think it was like we didn't see the video. Then it was like a thumbnail version. I was like, oh man, we got to get the original source of this video, and we finally got it. And it was I was very happy. So we talked about your record and how you've done so well with CCN. The last question I want to get to is, would you recommend CCN to your fellow competitors? And if so, why?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yes, I already have. So you've
Lucy, right?
Lucy, Lucy. And I videoed because I knew how the format ran. It's timing of it. You think, okay, look, you prep for, let's say, 24 weeks. You have minutes on stage, regardless of how many competitions you decide to do in your season, and just where those spring and fall CCN competitions are, it's just perfect timing. It's a no-brainer. I think I've done most of my videos post stepping off stage, done the videos somewhere around where I've actually been on stage, but also it's the feedback, and it's unparalleled because look, in a traditional show you can't get that detailed feedback from the judges, and we get it because they are there for hours on end. Exactly. Yep. So don't ask them. I think it's unfair. But the feedback that you get through CCN is it's unparalleled. So it's just so detailed, and it then obviously it helps if you're going on to do other shows. So depending on where it falls. So 100% recommend it. What more can I say?
All right,
I'm
good.
a fan.
Thank you. Yeah. I was gonna try to slip in another question, but you inadvertently answered. I was gonna ask you, like, what was your preference on when you like to shoot your videos, and you answered it. Like, all your videos would usually come show day, but you were very well prepared. The one thing I want to say to people is, anyone who's looking to shoot their video on show day, just keep in mind, like, don't do anything where you're gonna jeopardize your stage time. And two, you should log into your portal and become familiar with the audio and the setup, because you don't want to just think like, oh, I'm going to do this on show day. And then on show day, you're in there and you're like, oh my God, what do I have to do? Oh, what? You don't want to set yourself up to lose, where you're having to deal with that learning curve on the spot on show day. And then you're reaching out to me, asking me questions, and I could be at a show too. It's, if you do plan to shoot your stuff on show day, like you have done and been very successful with doing, the only thing I ask people who are interested or thinking about doing CCN is, log in, become aware with the infrastructure, become aware with what's expected of you and the instructions, ask any questions prior, and then if you want to do it at your show, do it there. Don't leave the learning curve to show day, because
Yeah.
it's just going to stress you out. I may not be around to answer that question right in that moment, and I want to make sure that you are set up for success. So if anything, look at it a little a little beforehand, and you'll be all right, because you did most of your videos then.
Even a practice run right beforehand, and that's why you say I've been able to do it post show or post stage, because I know the format, I know exactly what I'm doing, but that's because I've done it. So yeah, your advice is spot on. Just
and also too, we do offer like the camera check. Like if you're not going to a recording hub where everything's done for you and you have questions like, hey, is this location okay? Like submit, all you have to do is send me a message or an email and with a screenshot, and I will tell you, like, you're good, or hey, you're getting a little close. I will guide people through that process for their recording day. It's very difficult to do that on the fly, on the spot, time sensitive on show day. If you want to do it on show day, try to reach out before or know your instructions of what's expected of you going into it, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So so I think that went great. I mean, I am very fortunate to have someone like you who gave us a shot. You came in, you kill it here. You dominate. You do awesome. We're very grateful that you've given us that shot. I'm glad that the experience has been good for you, and I'm glad that someone has seen the growth and the transition. So I do appreciate that.
No, pleasure. Thank you for providing it. So watch this space.
All right. Well, the best of luck to you in all your future endeavors, and hopefully, when you do step back on stage and you're ready to go, you always give us a shot.
100%. Thank you.